Here to demonstrate, remove k digits on Leetcode. Stay tuned. Represented as a string, remove k digits from the number so that the new number is the smallest possible. Note, the length of num is less than 10,002 and will be greater than or equal to k. The given num does not contain any leading zero. So basically we just have a big number or any number and we remove k numbers, which could be any amount of numbers, 3 numbers, 2 numbers, 1 number. We remove it from the number and it creates the smallest number possible. Sounds pretty complex. This is definitely one of the harder problems I've demonstrated up to this point. 10,200 here. We have to remove one number. So since we can remove the 1 in front, and the note up here says cannot have any leading zero. So there's that leading zero. It'll be 0, 200. Can't have that, so that gets automatically removed too. Output is 200. 2 numbers we're taking out of a 2-digit number, so we just get a 0. First thing I'm going to do is create an array variable and name that ARR. Next thing I'm going to do is create a variable called removed and set that to 0. I'm going to create a for loop using the ES6 syntax. Create a variable named I and iterate through the num parameter. Now for each iteration here, there will be another conditional while loop for each iteration. Create the skeleton. The condition will be while the array.length and the I variable is less than to the array with the array's length inside the array -1, which is the last number in the num parameter, and the removed variable has to be less than k, so it's a lot. So if that's true, we're going to pop the number off the array, which removes it. We're going to increment the removed variable. If that while loop does not occur, if the while loop does not get validated, we'll revert to pushing a digit, which is adding a number onto the num parameter. And we put the index in there because that's the number we're adding. Now, outside of this for loop, I'm going to create 2 more while loops because a couple more things need to be configured before returning our result. I'll make the skeleton for both. And we'll have our return right here. This first while loop will remove all remaining large numbers. This while loop will remove all beginning zeros. So that's why we have to do these while loops. So it'll be kind of close to our first while conditional here, except a lot shorter. So while removed is less than k, we're going to do the same thing. We're going to pop the array and we're going to increment removed. To remove all beginning zeros now, we will have the while conditional of the array.length and the first index of the array, so array 0, need to equal the string 0. So that's 2 different data types of an integer and a string. And if that's true, we will shift off the array, which is a built-in JavaScript function like pop and push. And the shift method removes first element from an array. And once all that is done processing, we're going to return the array.length. And if that doesn't come up, we're going to use another built-in JavaScript method called join. So array.join, an empty string, or would default to 0. So we're using a ternary operator. Let's run this. So I made a syntax error here. The for should not be inside the parameters. You're inside the, okay. Try again. That worked. And that worked as well.